All right, welcome to the channel, and today we'll be talking about the ZMF Bokeh. Bokeh. Anyways, I'm gonna say Bokeh. That's how I've always said it, so that's how I'm gonna go with it. And my brain works a certain way, and so pronunciation has never really been my strong suit for whatever reason. My brain tricks it. But anyways, Bokeh. Fantastic. Listen, I really love everything that ZMF and the team there does. They really just nail everything regarding aesthetics and look and sound for me personally. So I tend to be a little more biased regarding ZMF stuff because every time I hear one of their new headphones or anything that they touch, it instantly resonates with me. Like it gets me. And then I go cry in the room with my emo stuff on. But anyhow, I just really love these ZMF Bokehs. I've had them for a while, and ZMF has not asked me to say or do anything other than my honest opinion regarding the ZMF Bokehs. And we'll discuss build and aesthetics first, and dive into some songs and some pairings and sound, that kind of thing, and then final thoughts and go into who is it for, that kind of thing. So let's dive right in. All right, so talking about build and aesthetic, and it's a ZMF, so build's gonna be stupid good. You got that lovely warranty on the drivers. You got just the polish and put togetherness of it, and honestly, they've only gotten better and better with each new iteration of their headphones. Like everything just seems to be so precise, more precise, and they keep just leveling up their game. I really love these new pads that they've got. They have like this nice like slope to them, and the padding on them is really nice. I really enjoy the new pads, and the overall like look of the Bokeh is really cool. I like the kind of more oval shape to it, more egg-like, I guess. It kind of fits your head really nice. The overall build, I really like the feel of the materials and the aesthetic of them. Just that wood, leather, and metal, just a fantastic look. And it's very photographically pleasing. It's easy to take photos of, and that will be kind of a theme for this video in general. Of all my B-roll, I'll probably be having it related to some way, shape, or form to photography gear. So, because Bokeh, it's that blur in the background you see back there. The build is fantastic, lovely, aesthetic is great. I don't really want to waste too much time regarding build and aesthetic because you're either going to love the wood, metal, and leather look, or you're not. You're either going to love the colored like style of the wood when he does like the colorings, or like the limited runs with the resins, or even just like with this one where it's just going to be this kind of a stain to it. You're either going to like that or not. You can always go with the standard woods or limited woods. That's that. Let's dive right into the sound signature and or sound of the Bokeh. All right, here we go. Let's dive into some thoughts on that. Take off this, show my bald ass head, and start with Got Till It's Gone. If I get loud, it's because these are really good at isolating sound. First, right off the bat, the sound of the paper shuffling, her talking, and then that bass line, fantastic. And then it's really cool because it has this nice back and forth with this tone. And then Joni Mitchell, yeah, this is an addictive song. Can't go wrong with it. Anyways, we'll roll through. And Got Till It's Gone. Fantastic track. I really enjoy it. I'm using Qobuz, and my chain right now is the Chord TT2 into the, oh God, I'm going to butcher this. Niche. God, I'm going to butcher this. Pietus Maximus. I think I got it right. Ooh, we shall see. Anyways, and then that's being preamped by the Freya S by Shit. So I got some shit going on. SCHIT, not the other way. And then the Chord T2. So I got a little bit of that Brit Fi with a little bit of that American Fi, and it's thumpy. That Freya S gives this huge dynamic swing, and it just pumps it's wild. Definitely give preamping a try on if you have the ability, like have a preamp sitting around. Preamp your stuff, man, like just to play with it. Sometimes it goes to complete poo, no pun intended. It's definitely worth playing with and figuring out, because preamping your amps just gives it some just new life and new flavor to your sound signatures. But anyways, let's dive right into Birds by Phil's Ami. I hope I'm pronouncing her name too well. But anyways, I'll link them down below, and I'll probably put them up here on the screen covering this ugliness. It is, yeah. Anyways, Birds, Dominique Phil's Ami. Ooh, bass line in that snap. Ooh, spicy. Love it. And by spicy, I don't mean like it hurts. It's actually just engaging spicy. It's crisp. It's nice. It's crispy. Oh, and then her just lush, just voice clicks in. This is just one of my favorite tracks to test stuff to, because it has that bass line, her vocals, and then the snappiness of the claps, and it's just great track to listen to. Okay, so Birds, Phil's Me. Fantastic track. Her vocals, amazing. I just said that. But anyways, definitely worth listening to and checking out. And with the Bokehs, it just, same with like the Janet Jackson, everything just is, it just has this punchiness, and there's like this smoothness, but it still has a nice engagement and detail. There's a lot of really good detail with the Bokehs. Blown away with how good the Bokehs sound. Wild, like the highs, I've never really had any piercing highs or any kind of like crazy like sibilance or anything like that with the Bokehs. And everything just kind of, another pun here, but kind of blurs into the background when it needs to. And then everything that needs to be in focus is in focus, and it's like, whew. Like her vocals on this are way forward, they're in focus, and then you can kind of get like the bass, and then the some of the other background noise is definitely in the bokeh in the background. It's kind of blurred, but not bad. Like it's not lack of detail there. It's like it's purposely pulled back, and it's just these really highlight what that track does really well. And then the crispiness of the claps and the whatnot, and then the twang of the bass, you get that. Like you get that crispiness of that, like that thump, like that plucked sound. Ugh, so good. So, moving on to the next track. I'm doing this motion a lot. I'm rolling through. Yeah, so let's dive into, what was I saying I was going to, Too Many Zoos. Warriors. Too Many Zoos, Warriors. And this one's not the best recorded, but it's good. And it's just fun. So let's put it on and talk about it real quick. So it starts right off the bat with the trumpets and the baritone. And it just has a nice sound. It's an echo. And so that's, yeah. Like, this has pretty good staging, too. Like, it's really impressive, the staging with this. Hopefully I'm not screaming at the microphone. And then it just, the snaps kick in. And you start getting pulled in. Ooh, it's so good. I'm a big brass fan. Oh, that trumpet. See, and that's where it gets a little bit high, but it didn't sound sibilant. Like it kicks in, but doesn't go like it's almost, it flirts a little bit with it, but it's just right. It's great. So I'm gonna listen for a bit, and we'll wait for the bass drum. Okay, and that was at the about the 50-second marker. So, anyways, zoos. They're just a fun. This is engaging. They have like this really like punchiness to the music that they play, and they're very engaging because they're kind of like that street subway kind of band. Kind of how they got their thing started and how they're known for. And so they have to have that quick engagement, right? They have to grab your attention and pull you in. And they do. That track's fantastic. So that's Warriors by Too Many Zoos. Anyways, so the sound of the Bokehs is, it's like it just gets everything so right. It's not going to beat something like the Atrium Closed for detail and like overall, but it's right there. It kind of falls in this like kind of a Goldilocks in the sense of it's not overly priced. I mean, it's an expensive headphone. It's over $1,000, and depending if you get like the high end, like the resins or like the custom limited runs or that kind of thing, it can push into that $1,500 range, I want to say. But if you get the standard one, it's just as good sounding and it looks beautiful, just as beautiful. But if you want to pay for that little premium to get like kind of a more funky look to it, or a cooler look, or however you want to describe it, you can. The option is there. But in my opinion, for a lot of people, the sound signature this has, because the bass is just really good, like really dynamic, really has a nice oomph to it. It doesn't feel anemic at all. I really enjoy the bass. I'm a bass head to some degree. I'm a bass head. Let's just call it what it is. Spade's a spade. The mids, while on certain tracks can be pulled back a little bit, but I think that's more of the mastering factor. But things like the Birds by Phil's and Me, her vocals are very forward, and so it just depends on the track and that kind of thing. But I think the mids are lovely. They have a nice warmth to them without being too syrupy or gooey. And then the upper mids and then to the highs, it just has this nice, like, I wouldn't say rolled off, but it just works just right to me with the highs. Like I get really, like highs, or I'm sensitive to highs to some degree. At least I think I am. I've always found highs, or when it's too crisp or too sharp of a like imaging, is when I get problems with my. I kind of just weird. That's why planars usually don't get along with me very well. These were lovely. The highs just they fit what I liked. The whole thing was just I've been having a hard time not using these, and I have the almost entire ZMF top grade lineup in my collection, and the Bokehs just really nailed it. Like they, as far as just like good enough, right? Like I would say, for most normal headphone audiophiles, like in game, not that there is such a thing, but for majority of people, in my opinion, I think this would be like a one and done, be happy and just not even think about it anymore, because they get it right. And I've been diving more into I've been diving more into speakers as of late, because I have the ability to. My daughter's older. I don't have to worry about disturbing her. When the wife goes into work or whatever, I can, blast the stereo a little bit louder, which makes it more, I've been more inclined to listen to speakers more lately. And so I think if you're on that kind of journey where you're progressing through like IEMs into headphones, into speaker world kind of thing, I would say this would be like a good stop point for a big chunk of people in the audiophile journey. Now you can go even crazier and go into the higher end ZMFs or higher end headphones out there, but personally these have been great. I think as far as like your average audiophile, and you're not going too hard down the rabbit hole of headphones, these would be hard to beat, in my opinion, especially for that naturalness and that warmth that ZMF is known. Like the ZMF house sound is on point in here. Like this is very natural to me, how I think music should sound. It has that. I really enjoy these. I mostly was using it with, like I said, the Chord TT2 into the niche Pietus Maximus. God, I hope I got it right. And then preamped by the Freya S. So that was my desktop setup. Fun thing though that I've been playing with is on the go. This thing. This is a little iFi Griffin. Remove it here, maybe? Am I gonna get that? Anyways, iFi Griffin. This paired with the Bokehs, with like the X bass turned on or off, your choice. On the go, like at a cafe or a coffee shop, or even just at a library, for instance, or if you're just running around wanting to something, or travel, maybe like you get travel and you get the ZMF like travel case thing here, and you can just like, I have the 4.4 cable with the Bokeh here. Throw that in there. You can throw this whole thing in here. Don't want to mess up the wood. Don't want to try, that's the other thing. So that fits in there like that, right? And then I put it in this in the bag, but you can literally just shove this in here. You got that little Griffin, you got the cable, throw it on there, boom. Zips up, and you have on the go audiophile hi-fi. And this is lovely. They come in black now too, which is really nice. Fantastic. Like it's really hard to beat that for like on the go high-end audiophile listening. Like it's wild. And final thoughts, that kind of thing. Honestly, like I just said a second ago, this is for kind of everybody. Like I think this is one of those fun Goldilocks kind of headphones. And I say that a lot about some of the ZMFs, but I just in general think the ZMFs get it. Like they just get what enjoying music is, like, and their headphones shine a light on that. And each headphone from ZMF has a unique characteristic to it that allows for other parts of the music or like sound signatures to kind of shine through. Like I'm thinking our tour classics or our tours were always a little more mid-focused. The Verités always had this kind of almost not V-shape, but they had a more
like fast, and the lows and the highs are a little more crispier, a little more punchier. And wait, the surround, like the sound signature of the staging and imaging was really like crazy good. I'm trying to think, the atriums, honestly, these would be closest to the atriums in my opinion as far as that kind of more balanced sound signature. But I do think the atrium close does win out with across the board. Like it's like this, but just better. But these are lighter, these are a little bit easier to drive, they're more portable. And then you got the Caldera close, which I would say it's a different thing, it's a different piece. I'll do a video on that later. But sorry, getting way off track. Let's get back to the Bokehs. These just nail it. Like as far as like that Goldilocks, they do everything really well. Can they be beaten by their headphones? Yes, that's what I was trying to get at with the other ZMF lineup stuff, comments. But yeah, these are great. I really enjoy them. Hard to get them off my head when I get them on. Not because they're hard to get off or on, but because I enjoy it and I start getting lost. Bokeh, who is it for? Honestly, I think majority of audiophiles out there would love these, and it's for everyone. And on the go listening's great with a portable DAC amp. Desktop use, fantastic. They're super easy to drive. The sound signature on everything I've tried them on has been really great. Even on a little Piety, the little smaller niche Piety, it's a little small amp, fantastic on those. It's a great headphone. This is honestly one of the great headphones that's out right now. Like this is good. That's my final opinion. This is one of the greats. This is a good one. But yeah, and that's final thoughts. Let's leave it at that. This is one of the greats. If you can, get it. If it's in your wheelhouse, if it's something you like that aesthetic, that wood, that metal, that leather. These are fantastic. And on that, I'm gonna let it be because I've probably been rambling and talking way too much. So, fantastic headphones from ZMF, the Bokeh. I love it. I love also that it's photography related. That speaks to me. I love photography. But anyways, everybody have a great one and enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening. Cheers.